When you load PolyNome for the first time, it will ask you if you want to take a tour of the app. I recommend doing this as it will show you what all of the elements on the main pages do. For now, I'm going to skip this, but it tells me that I can find this in the tutorial menu if I want to watch it later. If you click in the top left corner on the menu, you will see the tutorials page, and there we can watch the main page overview or some tutorials on how to do other basic things. Let's go back to the main page. Immediately on loading, we have a basic quarter note click at 120 BPM available to us. We have super fast tempo entry. Just tap on the tempo, enter the tempo that you want, and click done. You can also use the tap tempo function in here. You can swipe to change the tempo, or use the plus and minus buttons. If you tap and hold on one of the plus minus buttons, you will get a menu showing different tweak amounts. So we can tweak by 1 BPM, 2 BPM, or standard, which are the increment and decrement values that you will find on an analog metronome. If you ever find that you want to get back to that start position, tap the disk icon in the top right, choose Load Default, and that will bring you back to the default preset. If you have the Pro upgrade, you can make changes to the default and save it, and they will be available every time you go and load default. Also on the main page, we have the loop option. So if you tap loop, this will just count up and show you the number of repetitions that have been played. To the right of this, we have a timer which will count up the amount of time that has been played. If you want PolyNome to stop after a certain number of reps, tap on the loop button and choose the number of reps. PolyNome will stop after 2 reps have been played. Or you can choose a time. Let's say we want it to play for 3 seconds. So PolyNome will stop at the end of 3 seconds when we've played through 1 more repeat. To program different rhythms and sounds in PolyNome, you simply tap on one of the metronomes, choose Change Rhythm to access the rhythm page, and when you enter these pages, you will see again some tips saying that you can press the question mark at the top of the page if you want some more tips on how to use this particular page. So in here you can choose Clear All and enter different rhythms that you would like to hear. If you don't want to program rhythms in, you can swipe across to the presets page and try some of the default presets. So each of these presets, when you tap it, it's going to automatically load it. So we don't need to see this message again. And the notes icon on the right, if you tap that, you will see some more information about the preset. So this is a good way to learn about PolyNome. So the 16th on faders, if you tap the volume mixer, you can change the volume of each of the 16th notes in the pattern. The random mute for 4 bars will randomly mute bars of click, and it gives you a crash at the start of every 4-bar section. The jazz swing is a standard jazz swing pattern. And in here, you can tap on Change Accents and Swing and change the swing amount. And also the accent amount. The 9/8 click is a kind of funky click in 9.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
And this utilizes
1,
voice
2, 3,
counting,
4.
which is a pro feature. The rate change is a great way to use PolyNome to practice your ability to accurately switch between subdivisions. So this is 16th to triplets. And of course you can modify any of these presets. So let's change the rhythm of this and change it from 16th notes to quintuplets. So all these presets are just ideas to get you started. Then we have a polyrhythm 4 versus 3.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
So the voice is counting the 3 and the click is playing the 4. And again, you can change the mix of this, so we can bring the voice
2,
down.
3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 3. 1, 2, 3.
And then we have rhythmic pyramid, which in this example plays from 1 note up to 16 notes. So let's speed the tempo of this up. So you get the idea with that. And then we have Chris Coleman counting, which is from a Chris Coleman drum clinic, and it's a pattern that is in 25/16.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, and 2, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, and 2, and 1, 2, 3, 1.
If you have the Pro upgrade to PolyNome, then you can also use playlists. Playlists are basically holders for multiple presets, and you can do a lot of cool things with them. The best way to learn about playlists is to click on the menu, go to tutorials, and click on the playlists tutorial. That will give you an overview of playlist use. To give you a quick example, if you tap where it says presets, you can choose playlist, and this is the demo playlist, and you tap on here, click the I button, and it will tell you a little bit about playlists. Tap here again and go to the playlist manager. Let's bring up quick access clicks. So this is a playlist I've created with just a 4/4 loop, 2 reps of 4/4 if you wanted to click to stop automatically. We've got a 16th note loop. We've got a triplet click loop. So you can just have clicks that you want to be quickly accessible in here. Also in the playlist manager, we have an example time change. So this is 2 reps of 4/4 and then 2 reps of 7/8. So this playlist is automatically advancing to the next item in the list, and then it loops to the top and increases the tempo by 10 BPM in this case. So the auto advance and the looping, you set all of those in playlist controls, and it tells you more about them in here. If you want to change the number of reps that a preset repeats for, tap on the cog icon on the right, choose the number of repeats here, or you can choose it to play for a certain amount of time. So maybe you want a preset to play for 5 minutes before it advances. You can enter a note for the preset here, which is what will show up when you click on the I button, and you can tag presets. We also have this percentage slider. So everything in this playlist currently has its own tempo. But if we click the tempo lock button, you'll see those tempos disappear, and now everything will play at the tempo that is highlighted here. So we could change the tempo of the pattern by tapping in here, choosing 100, and that will change it for all of the presets. And we can use the percentage slider to change the tempo by a percentage. Maybe we want it to start off at 50%. Or maybe we want to play at 200%. When you use the automatic tempo change, you can tell PolyNome to increase by a BPM or by a percentage. And you can also set boundaries. For example, you could say check the percentage, start at a minimum of 50% and go to a maximum of 200%, and increase in steps of 20%. So let's start. I'm going to remove everything apart from 1 4/4 preset. It will start at the tempo that we have set. So let's go 50%. and then it increases by 20%, and another 20%. And this will take us up to our target of 200%. And you can choose what happens when you reach that target by clicking on select action. So we could say stop if you want it to stop when it reaches that tempo, reset if you want it to go back to where you started, reverse if you want the tempo to go in the opposite direction, or hold if you want to stay at the tempo that you reach. Let me load one more example, which is an example set list. So everything in this set list is a count off for a song at the correct tempo with the groove of that song, which is a really nice way to get the feel of a song before you play it, rather than just having a click. And it's great if you're playing function bands and you forget how songs start. So I've set times for each of these songs as well, and so the length of the set is calculated at the top. Times are set on the presets page. Finally, we can tap on here and choose PDF of playlist. We can see a nicely formatted set list that fills the page, so everything's as large as possible. And we have these ellipses at the end if titles are too long to fit on the page. But you can adjust how that happens in preferences if you want to truncate the long titles. You could shrink just those lines, or you could shrink everything. Let's take a look at it like that. So that might look a bit weird to you. You could have it shrink all the titles so it wouldn't take up as much space, but it saves a lot of time typing things out in Word. So that really is scraping the surface of PolyNome, but hopefully it's enough for you to play around on your own. If you have the Pro version, you can tag your presets to help you organize them. You can also tag playlists in the playlist manager. You can also view the practice log to see which presets you've spent the most time on and which tempos you've spent the most time playing at. There's lots of stuff you can do with PolyNome if you play around with it. If you subscribe to this YouTube channel, you'll be updated when there are new PolyNome tutorial videos available. Thanks for watching, and thanks for using PolyNome.